Hello, Arjun.
And hello to you.
How are you?
We are excellent, thank you. And you?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Okay, well, thank you. So
very excited to get to pose a question.
Yay.
At this point, I've been writing pages in the morning for a couple of months.
Okay.
And actually encountered at some point in the process that what started as creative writing exercise turned into a kind of channeling, maybe myself.
Most definitely.
And so there's been myself talking to myself, or different parts of myself rather, because I encountered different voices and different needs and different advices. And what first I took as a very cool discovery and a handy tool, and I wanted to make the most out of it, now has turned into something very confusing, because the more I start focusing on it and putting questions and looking for guidance, I get these sometimes very opposing answers. Like one day it tells me to do one thing, the next day another part obviously is telling me to do a different thing. And because I want to get it so right and really act in accordance with what is my inner truth, I go one step following one day and then go a different step the next day, and then I end up going circles or in the middle and revising decisions, and in the end I'm more confused and more in a mess than I was before. So how would I really know how to differentiate who is who and who's actually giving the good advice and who to trust in this?
Ooh, who to trust? Well, you've turned it into quite a game, haven't you?
Seems like it.
Or in fact, really, quite the opposite. You have turned away from the game. You have turned out of the play. You started in a play-like manner, and you felt the gift and the flow and the natural frequency of that. It resonated with you, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Then you took your mind into this particular action, and the analytical part wanted to have a say in this as well. Let's see what happens if we begin to more or less label the particular energy frequencies that are coming in. Let's compare them, see who is more right than the other. Let's take some action on this advice and then that one, see what works out best. And with that, you have invited a scales into your game. And scales have no place in games, you see. Because comparisons in that sense can't be made. When you're fully in the here and now, whatever is perfect, is whole, is complete, is okay. Yes? You understand? Mm-hmm. So the channeling state that you're tuning into, you are inviting yourself to in fact deepen that state. But you could say that you have run into the way you are exploring it right now, which is very beautiful, which is perfect. You have naturally run into a filter, a layer of comparison and perhaps criticism, and therefore confusion and circles, as you just described them to us. The circular motion really isn't repetitive. It is not a stagnation. As we see it, it is a build-up of energy that wants to break through that filter. Do you understand this? Mm-hmm. You see this image? So you're pushing against what is really a very thin layer, and in your heart you've already got the point. What you are quote-unquote longing for is the energy frequency that you did have very naturally in the beginning stages. Now, why was it there and why is it not there right now as you have created it to unfold? It was there in the beginning, if you may be so bold to answer. It was there in the beginning because you had no expectations. Mm-hmm. You were just playing in a childlike manner. And it is from that energy frequency that you remove filters, that you become an open vessel. Now, there will always be somewhat of a filter in any particular kind of channeling, otherwise you would be speaking directly to us, right? So through another messenger, a translator, a facilitator, there is always somewhat of a filter there. Because you see, we meet in the middle. The energy frequency of the channel, she allows it to be amped up. We allow ours, or I allow mine, in a sense, with the guidance of all very curious and enthusiastic beings co-creating with us right now. I lower my energy frequency somewhat, and what is coming through to you right now in this, what you call audio, is really just the outer crust of a download that unfolds in so many more dimensions than you can even rationally begin to imagine. But you're focused mentally. It's a little bit of a trick, to be honest. We're tricking you into listening to this so that you can mentally wrap your mind around things that you, from your own higher self level, have been telling yourself for a very long time. While you're focused on that, a lot of processes in the background are unfolding energetically that you're not consciously aware of in most occasions, but some of you may feel it as a warmth, as a tingling, as a presence, as a buzzing, as a little bit of a high vibe that is surrounding you right now. Your body may feel heavier, lighter. There are a lot of subtle things being translated to you outside, quote unquote, and in between the text of these kind of transmissions, because we communicate with you on so many more levels than just these words. Now for you, when you allowed yourself to play in a exploring manner, open, without expectations, to what might come next, you had lowered all your own boundaries, you had thinned your filters, optimally, you could say. And that's why such interesting, quote unquote, and in alignment information could come through. Now, you are, quote unquote, correct in the sensing that other beings were also chipping in. Of course, also, they are other versions of you. And in the moment of channeling, they are mixing with your energy frequency. And what comes through is the mingling of that. Yes, do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, do you think, bring yourself back to that neutral state that you started with in your journey as a automatic writing channel in that sense? And every single time you choose to play in this way again, and you pick up your pen and you grab your paper, or you sit behind your computer, can you tell yourself you're doing it for the very first time? You have no idea what will come. It doesn't need to go anywhere. Nothing is depending on it. And then see what comes to you next. Mm-hmm. By doing that and allowing yourself to do that, you will find that all of this resistance will melt away, and the voices, we're just translating it like this right now for convenience sake, the voices will harmonize and get into alignment with you as a receptor once again. Because as you invited your mental mind, the critical mind, they were having fun with you about that and started giving you paradoxical, contradicting information, mm-hmm. so that you would bump into that wall much more consciously. So that you could see, hey, wait a minute, I have introduced into my process a wall. This is not working, mm-hmm. right? Now you know, you can say, thank you, this was a really, really fun joke. And if you ever want to play it on me again, be welcome. Because I know how to use the results that come from a game like that. Mm-hmm. Then you will take away the resistance around what you have co-created with them and your higher self right now, so that things can flow again. Right. Do you feel right now, as we are explaining this to you in your heart, what this is about really? Can you see how you've set up this game with you and your guides?
Yeah.
And how that was pretty funny, really.
I can see that, yeah. It's a mechanism that I apply to everything, like trying to do it right and finding out the best way. So my intuition or my intention next time going into it should not be like asking for the label that I perceive the best, but rather like the
whatever
playful.
will be.
Whatever will be, will be.
Let's see what comes.
Not ask my inner being, not ask for my higher self, not ask for my best version.
You don't really have to, mm-hmm. unless you feel you need that as a permission slip. Yeah. But don't you rather choose to believe that whatever you need will be given to you in any given moment anyway? So that when you quiet your mind, and what some call meditation and what others do by automatic writing, that will open the doors if you have no expectation for whatever is relevant for you in that moment to come through naturally. And if nothing comes through in that moment, you don't need anything other than what's around you right now. You see. This is why sometimes writers have a writer's block, so to speak. Mm-hmm. they need a break from what they're doing, and so they don't get anything. They're holding it from themselves for a while so that they can reset and perhaps focus again on particular matters that are, if you would want to separate them in this manner, although there really is no difference, so that they can focus on some earth matters that have been calling them, yes? And then go back into this channeling, bridging form, more effortlessly again after that. You will always nudge yourself from your higher self's perspective to whatever is most relevant and important for you in any given here and now. And by feeling, tuning into it with your emotional compass, you will always be able to read into whatever it is that you are believing in that moment, because no emotion exists in isolation. All emotions are the immediate product of something that you believe to be true. So you feel sad, you feel lonely, you feel resistance. What is it that I choose to believe true in this particular moment that makes me feel that way is the question to ask. Oh, I'm putting a lot of expectation on this right now. I'm sitting here because I think I should. Yes? So we would say, when you tell us or ask us, so I should not ask a question, but I should do this and that. No. Sit when you feel like it and allow things to unfold however they may, even if nothing comes. Let it be alright. Love yourself to that degree, knowing that you are complete no matter what. Do you understand?
Yeah.
This is but one way to access your intuitive guidance. It's not the only one. Not everything is depending on this particular route. They were really, in a sense, also a little bit with a big wink, pushing you out of it as if there was nothing to gain from it because you were approaching it in this particular way. And there is nothing, well, not entirely nothing, but there is less, let's say it like that, to be gained from a game that is played in this particular way. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You can reap much greater gifts from stepping into something childlike, with an open heart, with an open mind. And otherwise you will bring yourself the sensation of stagnation, although you are always evolving. You are always evolving. Do you understand? Just to bring you back to your own core center. Out of love. You love yourself enough to have made this into a living hell. That's a bit of an acceleration. But you see?
Yeah. Thank you.
Don't you love that?
Yeah.
Now, are you excited about perhaps picking up the pen again or exploring in whatever way feels good for you?
Yeah, I am.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so very, very much. And have fun with your guides.
Thank you.
They say thank you.